Hello, Melissa.
Hi, how are you guys?
Really amazing.
Good.
Oh, fantastic. That's a good way to start the day.
I know.
He's in denial.
I appreciate the enthusiasm here.
Man, any old time.
Sweet. You guys play Professor Charles Xavier and Magneto in the new film X-Men First Class. X-Men, one of my favorite comic book series. Can you tell us a little bit about the film?
Yeah, this film goes back to the origins of the characters, well, that we already know, Charles Xavier and Eric Lenser, who later become Professor X and Magneto. And we basically see how they first met each other, how a friendship was developed, and then essentially fractured. And on top of that, we've got a lot of new characters in this part of the series.
The film franchise is already quite popular. What is it like going in and doing a prequel?
It's a little bit more complicated than just taking the story and going with it that's brand new. You are aware of the fact that not only are there 4 other movies, they were exceptionally successful, made a hell of a lot of money, proving that the audiences enjoyed watching them. You don't have any of the old cast to help back up the audience's love of the franchise, so if they don't like it, it's your fault. So that increases the pressure, but at the same time, you've got to try and forget that they ever existed. This predates. We don't have to take off where they ended. We're predating it, so it is not a reboot, but at times it feels like that because it's all brand new,
Were either of you fans of the comic series growing up? I know, I think I just said that earlier that I was.
I didn't not like it, but I wasn't really exposed to it ever when I was a kid.
You watched the cartoons though, didn't you?
I watched the animated series when I was about 10, 11, 12 years old and really, really responded to that. But and also the movies, but no, not the actual comic book.
No, me neither. I was never really sort of comic book sort of fan, really. But obviously when I got the job, sort of, really sort of attacked the sort of source material there within the comic books, which is really sort of mature and intelligent and really relevant, actually. I found it very surprising. And there is so much there to draw from to bring a really sort of, well, for me anyway, and I'm sure yourself, like a really sort of complicated, real character, as opposed to just like, oh, here's your villain and, here's your hero. The lines are kind of blurred because these characters are so complex,
Well, if you could possess any mutant power whatsoever, what would it be?
What would I do if I had my mutant power? I would sit in the Congress or the Senate or the Houses of Parliament in London and just drop in like twice a week or something.
No, what mutant power would you like?
I would drop into the Congress or the Senate. What mutant power would I like? I'd like to have Banshee's power. I'd like to be able to rock so hard that it made me fly.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a tail.
A tail?
Yeah.
What would you do with a tail?
What wouldn't he do with a tail, Melissa? That's the question you've got to ask yourself.
No, I like the idea of, the balance element of the tail. I find appealing, and I just think aesthetically I like it. And also, I could be at a computer sort of, typing away, glass of lemonade here, tail controlling it. Obviously, this hand's free. You have to imagine a tail coming around my shoulder here.
Totally. I'm into it. That's cool. Well, just one more question real quick. What are some of your favorite films when you're not on screen?
Godfather's my favorite film.
Of all time?
I think so, yeah. Big Lebowski as well.
I've got a top 3. I could tell you my top 3. It's a movie called My Name is Joe, probably Back to the Future, and then Brief Encounter.
Those are pretty fantastic choices, especially Back to the Future, what I wouldn't do with a DeLorean.
Oh, I know what I wouldn't do in a DeLorean.
They weren't very good cars, though, were they?
Were they Irish?
Let's be honest.
They were Irish cars.
They were. Northern Ireland, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Melissa. Appreciate it.